Last week we got a little known game, a Call of Duty game on Game Pass by the name of Call of Duty World War II. Now, this campaign in this game, in my opinion, is one of the best and underrated Call of Duty campaigns that's ever been created for multiple reasons: for breaking the fourth wall, and number two, just having really interesting in-depth characters. In fact, the only other video that I have on the story of Call of Duty World War II is on a character by the name of Red Daniels. It'll be linked down in the description. I look a little bit different in that one, but as far as that character goes, he has an incredible story arc of his character, and lo and behold, he's not the only one. And upon replaying the campaign for Call of Duty World War II, I found one other one that I might even find more interesting, because shrouded in mystery, not judging a book by its cover, and knowing how to be a leader all fall into this overarching story of a character who we're going to dive into today by the name of William Pearson.
Briefing's about to start. What the hell you boys doing?
Then there's Sergeant Pierson, a real sweetheart.
You think you're special, huh? The Krauts are gonna eat your lunch.
No, not our lunch, Sergeant. Our lunch is secure.
Watch your lips, Zussman. On me.
Now, where Pierson seems always angry, it stems from his backstory. You see, there was a battle, in fact, the first battle that the US fought the Axis forces within World War II, called Kazarine Pass. Now, Pierson was a sergeant in this battle, and the rumor amongst the soldiers that he fights with in World War II was that he abandoned his soldiers in that mission, causing many of them to be killed.
You heard how Pearson's platoon got wiped out at Kazarine? Looks like history's repeating itself.
It better not. I want to know what really happened there.
Yeah. Well, I don't have the guts to ask Turner, but I know someone who does.
And by that, Red Daniels is the person who ends up asking Turner, the person in charge of Pierson, what exactly happened there. And, well, he gives him a rather cryptic answer.
If you don't mind me saying, sir, maybe we should head to the assembly point.
Not yet. Pierson will get here.
Sir, is it true about Pierson getting those men killed at the Kazarine Pass?
One day, Daniels, when you're leading your own platoon, you find out there's usually two options: bad and worse. Would you focus on your men? Because that's what'll get you through.
Tell that to Pierson.
Sergeant Pierson, you just pray you're never in that position.
Now, thankfully for the squad, there is someone who is looking over Pierson's shoulder, and that is someone by the name of Turner. And he has a very different leadership strategy to Pierson.
Always looking over Pierson's shoulders, Lieutenant Turner. He's got him on a tight leash. But if Pierson breaks free, we'll all get bit.
So where Turner kind of leads with encouragement and kind of positivity,
Stick to your training, you're gonna make it through. I'm proud to lead you fellas into battle. Anytime, anywhere.
Pierson more so leads with being super strict and running with insults.
Welcome to the bloody first. You're a long way from Texas, farm boy.
So after D-Day, Zussman, which is kind of Red Daniels' best friend and part of the squad, he was actually stabbed during that mission. And because of that, he is down and out for a couple of weeks. But just a few weeks later, he ends up coming back. And Pierson is very, very speculative of it. In fact, Pierson is just very hard on Zussman in general.
You know, a wound like this takes 8 weeks to heal.
I'm ready, Sergeant. You've got my word.
Oh, your word, huh? That don't mean shit to me. So you're good, huh?
I'm just fine and dandy, sir.
You got guts, Private. I just don't want to see them.
And this can kind of be backed up with what we see in Lieutenant Pierson's report on Zussman, that Zussman was born in Eastern Europe, raised in Chicago's South Side. Overall skills are good, praised for quick thinking, but warned about answering back to higher ranking officers. Bit of a smartass. We'll keep an eye on him. So this is why we see Pierson be so hard on Zussman, is because, well, he's kind of watching over him, just in a very, very strange way.
Sir. He's scared as all.
Why don't you worry about your own problems? Like how that side is gonna hold up tomorrow.
I'm right as rain, Sergeant.
Daniels, why don't you watch him? The only thing more dangerous than the enemy is pride. Rest up, boys. We take Meridier at first light.
Here's the thing, as the war raged on, things got harder and harder, and when that happens, sometimes heads start to butt, and two of those heads started to be between Turner and Pearson.
Turner and Pearson, they ain't seen eye to eye since we got here. The grind's taking a toll on us all.
Time for more beans and bullets.
If I tell you to do it, it is the goddamn mission!
Hey, pick up the pace! We gotta hit CP by nightfall.
And when they go on that next mission, they end up coming across a bunch of civilians hiding in a basement, being there for really their own safety. And Turner and Pearson have two very, very different trains of thought as to what they should do in this situation.
Help us.
No. Kraut reinforcements will be here any minute. We don't have time to be babysitting civilians.
There's only 2 of them.
Sir, you better come see this.
Oh, just perfect.
Shit. We passed that truck a few hundred yards back. We can drive it here and we can get them all out.
With all due respect, our mission was to secure this hotel.
Sagen Sie. Wir haben Verwundete. Die werden es nicht schaffen. Ich
I
will
don't
es nie an.
Ich spreche etwas Deutsch. Keine Sorge, alles wird gut.
You speak German? When the hell were you gonna tell us that?
It wasn't.
All right, we're gonna get these people out of here. Daniels, Aiello, you take that truck, rendezvous with us on the west side of the hotel. Get moving.
And this is the kind of motto that we see between these two characters. Pearson is focused on following the objective, whereas Turner is more focused on the preservation of life amongst his fellow soldiers. This can be seen even further within the massive disagreement between Turner and Pearson about the Battle of Hill 493.
How many casualties?
We executed the mission.
How many?
Our instructions were to take this hill.
You should have waited for us.
There wasn't time.
What about our...
We had orders!
The hell with our goddamn orders!
Do you think I wanted any of this? We are cogs in the machine, Joseph. We start going our own way, the whole thing breaks down. When did you forget that?
These are men! Our men! When did you forget?
Those 150s are still firing on our position.
Keep moving. We're taking them out.
Now, I think it would be needless to say at this point that Turner and Pearson just do not get along, constantly butting heads. But when what happens next with Turner, everything changes. And, well, this is the next thing to happen to Turner.
He's it! It's okay. I've got you, son. Lieutenant!
Mami. Verfluchten Schweine. Spanische Arschlöcher. Sie werden uns nie schlagen. Was machen sie hier auf unserem Kontinent? Hä? Ich an am Arsch lecken, verfluchte Scheiße!
Turner! Enemy reinforcements! Fall back!
I'm not gonna make it. Leave me. I got you. Go. Lieutenant! We gotta get our boys out of here.
No, we can still make it!
You have to retreat.
No, we ain't leaving you here.
Get me up, I'll hold them off. You have to go! Go!
It was an honor.
No sacrifice too great. Go.
Fall back! Sergeant! Move! Move! Fall back! Move! That was an order! Go! Go!
No!
So after the death of Turner, Pearson goes into a really, really dark place. Now being the first in command, he ends up making Red Daniels his second, but it's difficult because Pearson is quite literally off the deep end.
And you can bet your ass that I will not shrink or waver from my responsibilities in any way. So I'm making you my second. And you will support me 1,000%. And you'll make damn certain that all those men do the same. Anything less I will consider dereliction. Now get out of my sight.
But moving forward, Pearson really doesn't take this very well. And in fact, even on Christmas, we can see he got a little bit too much into the sauce.
Turner! Lucky son of a bitch. You're always first, right? Keep eyeballing me. Yeah, get your jollies tonight, boys, because tomorrow when that convoy comes through, you're gonna be on the front line defending it. And Turner's not gonna be there to defend. Easy! Easy. You're corporal now, huh? Yeah, see how fucking easy it is. Go. Give me an excuse. Yeah, that's what I thought. 6 years I served with them. 6. Merry fucking Christmas.
Now, it's just one day after this that they are escorting a German POW who eventually tries to run away from them, and they don't understand why, but it turns out he was holding some incredibly important intel. In fact, the last way that they could actually push into the Rhine, and they were going to try to destroy it with bombs. This essentially saved the entire war efforts, was just finding this piece of intel. So the crew did what they did best and tried to stop what they were doing. And when they were doing just that, things start to go wrong. And as the Germans are escaping, they take Zussman as a POW, whereas Red is saved just in time. However, he wants to go after Zussman and save him, but Pierson tells him to stick to the objective because that is what he is all about. You gotta follow orders.
Close. You okay?
They captured Zussman.
I'm sorry about your buddy, but we need to hit that blast truck now.
No, you're not going anywhere.
Zussman was captured!
Pearson comes first!
I can't leave him!
So Red ends up going after Zussman. However, there's a problem. He isn't able to catch up to them, and because of this, the mission is actually a failure. And eventually, when Pearson ends up catching up to him, number one, Red is severely, severely wounded, and Pearson is really not happy that he didn't listen.
You disobeyed a direct order. Then I guess you better court-martial me. Desertion is a capital offense. So maybe I should just do us all a favor and finish the job.
Sergeant!
It's over. You got no place in my platoon. Get him out of my face.
It's gonna be okay. We'll get you patched up.
You did everything you could.
Now you see, this is where everything changes, because when we go back, we are severely, severely injured. And we immediately tell Davis, the commanding officer, what happened and that Zussman is missing and Pierson did nothing about it. And he tells him that he's doing what he did at Kazarine Pass once again. But it turns out we were wrong this whole time.
Pierson didn't give a damn about him, just like his men at Kazarine.
Kazarine? You got it all wrong, Private. Pierson was ordered to retreat. Some of his men were trapped in the pass. He couldn't bring himself to fall back without them. But he ended up just losing more trying to save them. It's It's never been the same. But you don't need to worry about Pearson. You're headed stateside.
So as it turns out, it was the opposite story. Pearson wouldn't abandon his men, and because he didn't follow orders, many of his men who would have lived otherwise did not. Making the wrong decision, not following orders, caused his team many problems. So ever since then, he follows orders directly, hence what we saw before. However, he still does everything for his fellow soldiers. A great example of this is, remember when we found those civilians underneath the building? Well, yeah, Turner wanted to save them, and meanwhile, Pearson just wanted to follow orders and follow the mission. Well, after this mission was over, Turner ended up getting in trouble by Davis, and Pearson actually ended up taking some of the flack, even though he wanted to directly follow orders.
Your orders were to take the hotel, not evacuate civilians. Who decided this was a rescue op?
We thought there was time, sir.
Last time I checked, Turner was in charge, not you. Is he making the calls now?
No, sir. It was my call. It's on me.
It's on both of us.
Yeah, well, right now, the last thing I should be worried about is if two of my best men can follow orders when we're on the verge of the biggest operation of the entire war. Let me remind you, this is the spearhead of our final drive to the Rhine. Got a whole damn forest to clear so the convoy can get through. So from this point on, I'll accept nothing less than your best. Now get your insubordinate asses ready to move out.
Now, after Davis talks to Red, he finds out that he is being given a silver star, he is being sent home to go be with his family, but that's not what he does. In fact, he turns that down and turns to go save his buddy Zussman, go searching for him. The first thing he does is go and talk to Pierson, now that he knows the truth about what happened to his men.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in there. Pearson's been hitting the sauce.
Thanks for the warning.
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
I'm not giving up on Zussman.
Tell it to the chaplain, because I got no room for a second. Who can't follow orders?
You weren't following orders when you refused to abandon those boys at Kazarine.
What did you just say to me?
You heard me.
You better leave while you can still walk.
Davis told me. It wasn't your fault. You were only trying to do right by your platoon.
Get out! Get out!
I'm not going anywhere.
I said get out! God damn it! My orders were to fall back, but I just couldn't leave them. I told my men we were gonna hold this pass until reinforcements got here, but they never came. They never came. So I guess you're right. I did get my men killed. Now go.
Not without my platoon.
You think you got some guts, don't you? Try getting the job done day in and day out while your men are dying all around you.
Turner would have never given up like
Turner is dead!
Then make that mean something! No sacrifice too great!
You don't know anything about sacrifice!
How about this? Honorable discharge papers signed by Davis. My ticket home. I could have had everything. A hero's welcome, my girl in my arms. Hell, even a Bronze Star. But I got one last mission.
You must be crazy.
Crazy ain't the half of it.
All right, fall in.
Sergeant?
I said fall in, goddammit. If you want in, now's the time. Get the fuck out of my way.
And just like that, we start to see a different side of Pearson. He wasn't just obeying orders to a T. He did that because that is what he truly believed at that point would save the most amount of his men. And that is exactly what we end up seeing after we take the bridge. They find out some information about some POWs nearby, and he directly disobeys orders.
There are reports of POW camps in the area. Davis has ordered us to wait for authorization before conducting a sweep. But I guess you know what to do with Davis's orders.
Copy that, Sergeant.
All right.
And that is exactly where the change happens, a mutual understanding between Red and Pearson. All of a sudden, he's not just this evil monster that only follows orders. We now understand exactly why he was following all of those orders, because not following orders was what got his men killed. And a story like this is one of the reasons why I say World War II is one of the most underrated Call of Duty stories that has ever been told. There's other characters that I have yet to cover on this channel as well, like Zussman, who has a really amazing story as well. So if you'd like to see something like that, hit the like button, subscribe, let me know down in the comments. But as far as Pearson goes, this is a great example of how you can take a mysterious character that you don't know everything about, make them look absolutely evil, and by the end of the game, turn him into this.
Going home, Sergeant?
I am home. What about you? You gonna re-up?
I've been away from Texas for a long time.
You take care, farm boy.
I will. When my son asks what I did, I'll tell him I fought with the first. And that crazy bastard Pearson.
Crazy ain't the half of it.